WWE Backlash 2025 kicked off with an explosive fatal four-way match that set the tone for a night of chaos and surprises. The brutal contest, featuring LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Jacob Fatu, had fans on the edge of their seats from the very first bell. But it was a shocking moment that no one saw coming that truly sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. Amidst the carnage, Jeff Cobb, the powerhouse known for his incredible athleticism, made his unexpected debut by blindsiding LA Knight, leaving fans stunned. Cobb's arrival, aligning with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline, sent ripples throughout the wrestling world, raising questions about the future of both the faction and the WWE landscape. The brutal action unfolds, non-stop chaos. As the bell rang to officially begin the match, all four men charged at each other like wild animals in a ring designed for carnage. From the very first second, it was clear that this wasn't going to be a typical WWE match. This was a brutal, no-pity, all-out brawl. Fists flew, bodies collided, and the ring itself seemed to groan under the force of every hit. The arena quickly descended into chaos as each competitor threw everything they had into the fight. The fans in the Enterprise Center didn't take long to make their voices heard. It didn't take long before chants of "We want tables" filled the air, and it was clear that the crowd was hungry for destruction. It seemed like every strike and every move in the match was done with one goal in mind: dominate or be dominated. The carnage unfolded in such a way that there was no clear favorite, no predictable outcome. Each competitor brought something unique to the table. Drew McIntyre used his immense power, tossing bodies around with little regard for his opponent's safety. LA Knight, never one to back down, fought with an intensity that mirrored his mic skills. Damian Priest, always calculated and strategic, waited for the right moment to pounce. Jacob Fatu, the wild card, was a combination of brute strength and athleticism, making him a force to be reckoned with. Jacob Fatu, known for his explosive athleticism despite his size, had the fans on their feet after performing an incredible move. He climbed to the top rope, aiming to show off his aerial skills and take down his opponents with a high-flying move. However, before he could complete his maneuver, Drew McIntyre had other plans. With ruthless precision, McIntyre raked Fatu's eyes, stopping him in his tracks. LA Knight, always opportunistic, seized the moment and trapped McIntyre in the Tree of Woe, a submission position in which McIntyre was hung upside down in the corner, unable to defend himself. Knight then delivered a series of punishing strikes, each one harder and more brutal than the last, further weakening McIntyre and putting him on the ropes. Just when it seemed like LA Knight had the upper hand, the action took another dramatic turn. McIntyre, using his raw strength and veteran instincts, managed to escape the Tree of Woe and launched a devastating German suplex on Fatu, sending him crashing onto Knight's body in the process. The arena erupted, with fans on the edge of their seats. The high-impact move not only took down two of the biggest competitors in the match, but also demonstrated just how high the stakes were in this contest. The Swanton Bomb. A moment of madness. As the battle raged on, it became evident that these men were willing to risk everything. The match wasn't just about winning. It was about proving dominance in front of the WWE universe. Jacob Fatu, never one to shy away from risky moves, launched himself off the top rope for a breathtaking dive to the outside. The crowd's cheers escalated to a fever pitch as Fatu soared through the air, landing on his opponents with a devastating Swanton Bomb. The impact was so severe that it sent all three men crashing to the floor, leaving the arena in stunned silence. Fans couldn't believe what they had just witnessed. "This is awesome!" Chants echoed throughout the building as each competitor struggled to recover from the high-flying move. Back in the ring, LA Knight seized the opportunity to go for the kill. He delivered a series of back-to-back elbows to Jacob Fatu, followed by a near fall that had the fans biting their nails in anticipation. It seemed like Knight might actually pull off the win, but just as quickly as things seemed to be turning in his favor, disaster struck. On the outside of the ring, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre were engaged in an intense brawl. The two titans battled on top of a production crate, one of WWE's most dangerous areas. In a stunning moment, Priest delivered a South of Heaven chokeslam off the crate, sending McIntyre crashing through a table below. The crowd's reaction was instantaneous, erupting into a holy saga chant as the sheer brutality of the move set the tone for the rest of the contest. Interference and the arrival of Jeff Cobb. Just as the match seemed to be reaching its climax, the surprises continued. LA Knight, now with the advantage, tried to capitalize on his momentum. He looked to finish the match in dramatic fashion, setting up a table in the corner and preparing to put someone through it. However, in a shocking twist, Solo Sikoa, a key member of the Bloodline, emerged from the back. He rushed into the ring and pulled Fatu off the table, thwarting Knight's plans. Fatu, clearly conflicted by the interference, still took advantage of the moment and managed to hit a moonsault on Knight, securing the pinfall victory. While Fatu may not have been entirely comfortable with the help from Solo Sikoa, he took the win in the most opportunistic way possible. The arena was in shock as Fatu stood victorious over 3 of the WWE's top stars. The victory was significant, not just for Fatu but also for the implications it had for the Bloodline story, which had taken an unexpected turn. Jeff Cobb enters. WWE, a new player in the Bloodline saga. The biggest shock of the night, however, came not from Fatu's victory, but from the unexpected arrival of Jeff Cobb. The powerhouse, known for his athleticism and incredible strength, made his presence felt in a major way. Cobb jumped the barricade and blindsided LA Knight, leaving the fans gasping in disbelief. The veteran wrestler attacked Knight with a devastating series of moves that left him lying in the ring, unable to recover. The crowd's shock turned to confusion as Cobb, who had been a rising star in various wrestling promotions for years, was now seemingly aligned with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline. The inclusion of Jeff Cobb into the Bloodline was a huge moment, one that left fans questioning the true direction of the faction. For years, fans had been speculating about who might eventually join the Bloodline, but Cobb's arrival was not expected by anyone. His raw power and brutal wrestling style made him a perfect fit for the group, but it also left fans wondering if the Bloodline was expanding into something much larger than anyone could have anticipated. What's next for the Bloodline? With Jeff Cobb now inserted into the mix, the Bloodline storyline had taken a dramatic new turn. The alliance between Solo Sikoa and Cobb raised countless questions about the future of Roman Reigns, the faction's leader, and the role that Jacob Fatu would play moving forward. Was this a temporary alliance? Or was Cobb going to be a permanent fixture in the faction? How would Roman Reigns respond to Cobb's sudden inclusion? And most importantly, what would this mean for the future of the WWE? For LA Knight, the fallout from the match was far from over. He had been screwed out of the win by a combination of outside interference and shocking betrayals. Knight, never one to back down, would surely seek retribution against the Bloodline and anyone who had wronged him. His fiery spirit and desire for success in WWE made it likely that he would not rest until he got his revenge. The Bloodline's evolution. New alliances, new power. The dramatic shift in the Bloodline faction had larger implications for WWE as a whole. The Bloodline, once dominated by Roman Reigns and his close-knit family members, now seemed to be evolving into a more dangerous and unpredictable force. With the addition of Jeff Cobb, a man who was more than capable of taking on WWE's biggest names, the power dynamics within WWE were shifting rapidly. Could Cobb and Solo Sikoa take over the WWE in Roman's absence? What would happen when the tribal chief himself returned to find this new dynamic in place?